Five, four, three, two, one. It's recording.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Bite Podcast with Raven and Rhe.
I'm Raven.
And I'm Rhe, and this is a spooky edition Halloween special.
Woo! So if you're tuning in on YouTube, you can see our costumes. But if you're not on YouTube, we'll describe ourselves to you. So I am Winifred Sanderson. She's the oldest Sanderson sister in the movie Hocus Pocus. I have a wig on. I blocked out my eyebrows. I created new eyebrows. I have fake teeth here for her team, but I can't talk with them in. And I have my pumpkin ready to carve.
I love it. And I am, well, if you know from TikTok, my user is Life Size Coraline because I had my hair blue for a while and I was like, oh my god, I should totally go as her for Halloween. So I'm currently Coraline from the movie Coraline, blue wig, yellow raincoat, and one side of my face is very glamorous, and then the other side has a button glued on with a safety pin. Well, not a safety pin, but like a sewing pin also glued onto my cheek, and then we have like stitches going on my jawline, nose, and eyebrow.
I was telling my husband, I was like, I put too much time and effort into this look today that I'm gonna go and take pictures around my city.
Oh my god, I love that. I'm gonna take a few before I have to take it off, for the gram.
Yeah. So, I mean, today we're gonna be talking about the villains of Twilight. We might dive into a little bit of the villains of other worlds, but we'll see about that. And I'm going to take off my lovely ring that I will tell you guys about before I start carving this pumpkin.
Yes.
Okay. Oh.
Should we tell them what we're carving?
I don't know. I feel like it should be a surprise.
Okay.
By the way, we both came up with our own carving ideas, and we discovered what they were, and they're the same thing.
Oh my god, it's so funny.
So... it's something that I think our little friend group will enjoy very much.
I need to get a little picture just so that I can draw it on.
Yeah, I have one on my phone here. I feel like yesterday my sister was playing Among Us with the group and she was role playing as Jacob and it was so funny.
My goodness, I love that.
Okay, I haven't carved last time I carved the pumpkin, we made pumpkin seeds, so I'm pretty excited. I really want to make pumpkin seeds.
I love pumpkin seeds. I haven't had them in so long.
Okay, speaking of pumpkin carving, just because I don't know why, but I feel like Alice would be the best pumpkin carver out of everyone.
Oh, yeah. She can already see what she's probably going to do and what the outcome is going to be.
Yeah.
We saw her artwork in, Twilight, so.
So she'd probably be so amazing at pumpkin carving. Okay, friend, I got the top. So
I should have grabbed a better knife.
If you are tuning in on Spotify, just go ahead and listen to it first and then go watch us carve on YouTube. But I got the little top off. I'll clean that off right now in a bit. Okay. So maybe we should get into our topic today. So we are going to be talking about the villains of Twilight and all that they are. So not just the Volturi, because there's other villains, right? But they're a big part of the villain. So let's start off with the first villain that we ever met, James.
Oh, James.
James. Who, by the way, I think is he's the only villain, I think, in the series that is doing something out of pure evil, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I feel like that also because the others were definitely, Victoria was revenge, and then the Volturi, they're more of, ambition.
And they want power,
Yeah, and they were very benevolent, faux benevolence with theirs. Mm-hmm. So James was the one who was very sadistic and evil and like his reasonings were, selfish.
Yeah, and so it was just because I mean, and it's we know that it's not the first time that he did it because he did it with Alice. I'm pretty sure that he's probably done it with other people, you know.
Yeah.
So his I mean, I guess like out of like true villains, you can say that he's probably like just like a true villain, just because he wanted to kill Bella, just
Of the game.
because Edward pissed him off.
Yeah, it was all a game to him.
It really was.
Maybe.
And I think it's so because in the book it says that James told Bella about Alice and her backstory because in the book Alice didn't know her backstory, right?
Yeah, she didn't know it until I think at the end, because it's mentioned in New Moon that when she was talking to Bella when she came back that she had seen the video of James that he had recorded and went and started searching for info on her past.
Yeah, and she found out, and James was tracking her as well because why was he tracking her? Because she was crazy, like because she was in an insane asylum, right?
Um, So I think in the illustrated guide it said that James was traveling around the area and came across her scent, and it was how what Alice was to James, how Bella is to Edward with the like blood and the scent.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Alice saw him in a vision when she was still human. And one of the workers at the asylum was a vampire. And when she told him, like, someone's after me, like they're gonna kill me, all this that he turned to Alice. And then when James got there, Alice was already in the middle of transforming, so he couldn't feed on her blood, so he killed the creator out of revenge, and that's why Alice was alone.
Didn't the creator he could control like time or something like that?
I had to reread the illustrated guide. I think that's a theory. I'm not 100% sure.
Because I don't know how true these I don't know if you've seen them, but they're like the storyteller videos. There was like a competition or something of people who could like tell the stories of the other Cullens and stuff like that. And they did one on Alice. They did several on Alice actually, but the one about Alice was that her creator could like control time, so he turned into a vampire and then like slowed down time so that she had time to turn before they had got there.
I'll have to check that theory out.
Yeah.
Story time out.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what I had I'll send you the link. I think it's called like storytellers on YouTube or something like that. So then we get to Victoria, who at the end of I don't know if it was hinted at the end of I don't remember if it was hinted at the end of Twilight the book, but for sure at the movie it was hinted that Victoria is going to come back and try to kill Bella.
Yeah, definitely in the movie we see that. I can't remember if in the book. I had to recheck either Midnight Sun or the book or like the Bella's point of view and see. I think she had mentioned it while they were dancing. Like, what about the woman? Is she gonna come back? And but I can't remember for sure.
Oh, that's cool. My marker's like dried out bad.
Oh.
Oh, you know what? I think it came with a marker. Okay. Yeah, so I think we all know that Victoria acted out of revenge for her love, right?
Yeah.
But she was also very manipulative to Riley.
Yeah.
Well, I guess she didn't really talk to the newborns, right? Like it was all Riley because
Yeah, she knew that if the newborns knew of her, then Edward could be able to trace her in their thoughts. So that's why Riley was the one making decisions because Alice wouldn't know who he is. Therefore, when Edward would read Alice's thoughts, he wouldn't be able to pinpoint that it was Victoria who actually was doing the bidding.
Yeah, which is pretty smart. I mean, she
Like that's
she
genius.
yeah, she knew enough about the Cullens to know like their abilities, right? And then to like literally go around them for so long um is pretty smart. We'll give her that. But then I think that she messed up at the end.
She let her anger get the best of her.
She did, which is I guess good, right? Because then we wouldn't have gotten have gotten the rest of
Gone.
the story. Yeah, and then to the point. I mean, she was also super manipulative, not only to Riley, but also to my man Laurent.
She was. I mean, Laurent. If only Laurent didn't come back, he could have been with Urena.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of that whole situation would have been, I guess, avoided in a way if he had just. I mean, he was trying to be good, you know.
He was for her. I think because it's described like Victoria's voice is described as being very childlike and innocent, so it makes it easier for her to manipulate because they're like, oh, I can like they just need help because she's so afraid.
Yeah, and I think that Bryce Dallas Howard did a good job of that in
Eclipse.
clips because she was super convincing to Riley, you know, like I mean,
Yeah, especially at that last moment.
yeah, like super. And then also, I don't know if you've seen, but like Bryce Dallas Howard, um, I know, I just read that they actually offered her the role of Victoria in the first Twilight, but she declined it because she thought it was too small of a role.
Yeah.
And so, but then she ended up taking it again, right?
Yeah.
And Eclipse after the other actress was fired. And what's it called? And I think that I feel like the other actress was super fierce and really like intense in a way that I don't know if she could have pulled off the whole like convincing Laurent and all that, like to be, I don't know, like to me, like Bryce Dallas Howard did a really good job at that. And there's videos of Bryce Dallas Howard like literally making herself cry on cue.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Because I'm a big Jurassic Park fan, and so I saw when I first saw Jurassic World, I was like, oh my god, why does she look familiar? And then I realized I was like, wait a minute, that's Victoria from Eclipse. She did really good in the Jurassic World movies. And so when I looked back, like when I went back and watched Twilight later on, I was like, huh. And like, there's definitely differences between the two with their portrayals, and I definitely agree that Rochelle got like the cat-like feline description that Victoria had, but Bryce could easily do the innocent, childlike. Oh my God, pumpkin seeds everywhere. See that?
I think so. Yeah, I agree. And I feel like um, Laurent, I know he said that Laurent was really trying to change, but I don't know if I feel like they said that he was trying really hard. He was trying to become vegetarian to like vampire wise, right? But I don't know if he was like so far gone to just like, cause he switched so quickly, but I also like him and Victoria were like in a coven together for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think, I think he kind of wanted to, but it was very hard that I think he took his chance to get back. Because he had even said, sometimes it's hard and I slip up every once in a while.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess I get where he's coming from too with that. Um, and oh my gosh, let's talk about Riley.
Oh no, my innocent bean. Oh.
So sad. I, I feel like obviously we know that he was created just for the purpose of this whole like scheme that Victoria had, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like if he was turned like by a different vampire, oh no, if he was turned by like someone else, that he would have been. I think he would have been a very good like vegetarian vampire.
And because, like, he was just, he was innocent. He just wanted to get his degree and living the life. And I wish I wish he would have went with the Cullens and Bree. Oh, Bree.
I think, oh yeah, oh my goodness, we can talk about that right now. But I feel like also, like, if he would have, because at that end of Eclipse, whenever he was like, he was really questioning whether or not, like, Victoria was telling the truth or not. But then our baby boy Seth came and, like, completely devoured him.
Yeah, that's why I really wish we could get Edward's point of view of Eclipse. Because I just want to know what Riley was thinking.
Yeah, because, I mean, Edward could read his mind, right? So Edward was probably saying, because Edward was talking to him, so Edward was probably saying, like, everything that he knew he had to say to get this kid to, like, to not kill them, you know? Because I feel like that's a really big reason why Riley got killed, was because Victoria was, like, sitting there trying to, like, distract him. But and then he got killed, and then she kind of, like, lost it, and then Bella, like, cut herself, right? But I feel like if Riley would have been like, I'm not gonna do this, that Victoria would have died. Like, they could have killed her super easily without Bella having to cut herself.
Yeah.
You know, but then she cut herself for the metaphor.
Yeah. I kind of like that in the movie they gave Riley more of a personality, because we didn't see him, of course, in the book until that last confrontation.
Yeah.
And so I like that they changed it to make it to where he was from Forks, so that it would make sense why she chose him, because he would know the area. And
Yeah, I agree. I really like that. And also, I also like the times that it showed the newborn army, like, and him trying to control them, because it really looked like he was seriously struggling. Like, he couldn't control them. Like, he's this new vampire trying to control a whole bunch of newer vampires, which is, like, literally ridiculous, you know?
yeah. Ooh, Xavier Samuel did really good, But I just,
Yeah.
because when he would, yell, I was like, wow, okay, go off.
Those were his yelling parts were so good. They were so powerful, too. And he was, like, he literally looked like a distressed person trying to handle a whole bunch of maniacs.
My favorite meme is one of my favorite memes is the like hand meme where it's like two things and then there's a hand where they come together. There's there's one with, it says Riley Beers, Carlisle, Cullen. What did I say about low profile? Carlisle having to say the same to his kids.
Yeah.
And they go off and cause a ruckus.
For real. What did I say about keeping a low profile?
Oh my god.
Why do I feel like Carlisle has probably said that to them several times?
Literally, because when I saw that, I was like, I can totally imagine how Carlisle is having to keep these 7 immortal teenagers in check. And I have hair on my face. And he's had to have said that. And the fact that him and Riley both had to take care of a group of people just wanting to make sure everything's in line and in order, and then boom, everything goes to
Riley is like Carlisle if Carlisle was bad.
God, literally.
Because he's creating these new vampires, but the only difference is that Riley was creating them for war, and Carlisle was creating them for family. So, if Carlisle was a bad guy, that he would have probably been exactly like Riley.
Yeah.
But thank God he was not a bad guy. He was a little angel.
We love our angel doctor.
Our daddy doctor.
Doctor, paging Dr. Cullen.
Yeah. So, and then in Eclipse, I read this. What did I? No, I actually watched this yesterday. But Arrow didn't know about the newborn army, did he?
So I heard that. I think what happened was he sent the guard to I think the theory is that he sent the guard to go figure out if something was going on in Seattle because he could, tell from the news that, and also because of how close it is to the Cullens, he wanted to know if something was going on.
Hmm.
Um, and I think so. I don't know if Jane did it like herself, like decided not to tell Arrow about it because she wanted to use them to the advantage because she does not, of course, like the Cullens because they are the only people that Arrow was able to like let go and she didn't like that.
Yeah. Yeah, because she did make a deal with Victoria, right?
Yeah.
She made a deal saying that like you need, well, I don't know what exactly the deal was, but she just wanted the Cullens to die. And then she had said like if your purpose isn't fulfilled, like
Yeah.
peace
They
out, you know?
Yeah, I think it's in Bree Tanner's book that you see that interaction take place where yeah, she said you have a deadline to do what you want and then if you haven't then we kill you and everyone.
Yeah. And then I think I remember reading somewhere that Victoria had asked him what if we succeed, and she was like, oh, we'll see, like we'll have to review.
Yeah.
But I feel like I don't think that Jane would have let them live, even if they what's it called, even if they had won, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I just think that because in that there's evidence that she is um
Firing.
yeah, like she's kind of going against her leader in a way, right? Because Arrow is the main dude.
I'm so glad you did not see that, but whoever's watching the YouTube just saw. I just flickered a bunch of pumpkin seeds into my face and one was stuck on my neck. The YouTube people, you just saw me do that and let me grab some gloves real quick. I have some gloves. I need to
I,
get the skunk
I'm
out.
trying not to like touch it with my hands, but I feel like it's inevitably gonna happen.
It's getting stuck in there. I gotta grab some. Hold on.
Mine is like super stringy. Oh, I don't think she has her headphones in. She can't hear me. Oh, this is gross.
It's dyed blue from when I did my hair, but it's clean. Like it's just.
Have you ever ate pumpkin before?
I haven't ate like straight after like carving it, of course, but I've had pumpkin seeds. I have pumpkin pie. I think I've had a piece of like roasted pumpkin before.
Because there's people who like bake it and like eat it, you know?
Yeah.
I just can't see myself doing that.
Yeah.
It's just gross to me. Um, so I think that because I was kind of talking, well, I was thinking like, what is the next? Because we know that we're getting a book, right? We're getting a book from Stephanie, two books actually from Stephanie Meyer. I think one of them is confirmed to be a book in Renesmee's point of view 4 years after the big not battle that happened.
Yeah, the confrontation.
Yeah, the big almost battle. I feel like there has to be some sort of conflict that's going to happen, right? And I was kind of thinking that maybe this conflict was Jane trying to come back and come at the Cullens again.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. And all I did hear that Freaky Fred. Have you read Bree Tanner?
No, I have not, but I've like seen videos about it. I just recently got it actually for my birthday, so I have to read it.
Okay, because there is a character in Bree Tanner who is a part of the newborn army, named Fred.
Mm-hmm.
And Fred, do you mind if I like tell you, or would you rather find out?
Go for it.
So Fred has the ability to make people physically repulsed by him, which is why he would be able to. So in the book, it's like Bree notices how nobody would mess with him, and then he finally, after deeming her like she's cool, she's not gonna mess with him, he doesn't do the power on her, and then they become friends. So when they find out about what's going on with like the battle and how they're being prepped to fight people, he decides to book it. And Bree's supposed to meet up with him, but she doesn't. She goes back to the battle to go find another certain character that you will find out in the book when you read it.
Oh,
And Fred ends up, and she never meets up with Fred. And he was waiting for her to come. So
how old is Bree, by the way?
Bree was 16.
Okay.
So yeah, Bree was 16. She had a very rough past. Her father was abusive and actually killed her mother. And so she leaves, because she's from, I think she was from Montana, or she was from somewhere. And then when she booked it to Seattle, when to get out of the household, and then that's where Riley finds her and turns her, and she becomes the vampire. So she was supposed to meet up with Fred before the army, and so Fred is still out there, and he's supposed to make an appearance in this upcoming book, apparently.
Mm.
And I can't remember if Fred was in on, like, if Fred knew about what Jane had made the deal with Victoria. So I feel like if he's going to be a part of it, as well as the Volturi are supposed to be making an example, I wonder if it's going to be like, it's going to link back to the battle and how Jane and the Volturi was using it to their advantage. Because Edward already knew Jane was lying at the confrontation, because he could read what happened in Bree's mind, but he kept silence.
Yeah, and also didn't I had read, I don't know where I read this, but I had read something like at an eclipse at the end of the battle that Jane had apparently let her like guard down, let Edward, like told Edward everything that happened. Like he told her, like she kind of like, because he can read minds, right? And Jane has no blocking abilities, so I think that Edward knows everything. I wouldn't it be interesting, because I feel like Caius and Marcus are super loyal to Arrow.
Yeah.
I don't think that they are ever going to ever like want to like leave Arrow. And I think that if anyone were to try to turn their back, that Arrow would be like the first to like, or like if
Yeah.
they would just, they're like, Caius and Marcus are his tried and true, you know?
Well, Marcus actually doesn't know that Aro killed his wife.
Yes, that's something we also need to get into, right?
I think my theory is that if this is gonna, like, if they're all gonna be in the book, I feel like secrets will come out, and maybe Marcus will find out, and then that will be like the defining moment. Like he'll eventually, like, that betrayal and anger will be able to break Chelsea's influence, and he could like leave.
That is also true. We'll get into that now, but I was gonna say that I think that what if Jane is planning on kind of taking over the Volturi?
Ooh.
It would be interesting. And maybe what if Arrow came to the Cullens and asked them for help?
Like, oh, Jane's getting too bold. We need my pride and joy. That would be, honestly, like, I would love to see that.
I think that'd be interesting, because it's like the first time that the Volturi and the Cullens kind of like not agree on something, but kind of band together. I guess
Yeah.
you could say.
That'd be interesting. I kind of want to see that type of outcome.
Right? Let's see, how long have we been? going? We started at 12:25. Oh, it's been 30 minutes. So now let me take a break from this so I can get into my segment. Um, all right. So this week, let me put my recommendation on. This week, I actually partnered with Crystal Icing on Etsy. A lovely lady named Christy Reed on Instagram makes handmade Bella Swan replicas. And she was so kind, and I am recommending her ring to you guys. I want to go ahead and get her Instagram information for you guys. So it's Christy underscore Reed underscore jewelry underscore designs on Instagram. This is the Bella ring. It's this it's making it super shiny because of the ring light, but it is really shiny in person actually too. And I don't like jewelry. I really don't. My husband was surprised because I have not taken this off since I got it.
I love that.
Every single day. It's super comfortable, which is something that I was like scared about because it is adjustable. So I was scared because sometimes adjustable rings like pinch your skin, right? And I'm glad to say that this one does not do it. So that is my recommendation. Her Etsy page is Crystal Icing on Etsy. And yeah, so I think everyone should go check them out. That's my recommendation for the week. And my other recommendation is that our dear friend Cherish Danae, I'm like, I'm gonna plug all of her social medias. Her Instagram is Forever Jumping the TL, the treaty line, but TL on Instagram. And she just she created a song called Edward's Soliloquy, or Silence, Edward's Soliloquy. Stephanie Meyer herself actually heard the song, put it on her website. And she just made a song called Always, parentheses, Be You. And it is a Bella song to Edward. It's so gorgeous. It sounds literally like a lullaby too. It's Bella's lullaby. um,
Lullaby.
and I believe it's on Apple Music. It's also on her Instagram. Her Instagram is cherish singing stuff. That's on her Instagram, and she has Silence on there and Always Be You, and it's on Apple Music, I think soon to be on Spotify. So everyone should go check that out. She's amazing. She's an amazing singer. Literally so talented. Go follow her. Go check it out.
Guys, it's so good. I literally cried.
I listened to it ever since it came out. I listened to it the first day. I listened to it several times, and then I woke up and I listened to it probably like every day. I was getting ready today and I listened to it. So everyone should go check that out because it's amazing.
She's just so talented.
She really is. I love all of our friends. We have like a big group chat with a whole bunch of Twilight lovers and creators and stuff like that for TikTok. And I feel like all of our friends are super talented. I love all of them.
Yes.
They're literally the best.
I got my little sketch. I'm trying to figure out how am I gonna carve it.
I have carved mine out. Now I'm trying to carve out words, but I don't know if that's gonna be possible.
Yeah.
I don't know, because it's like I feel like it's too tiny, but we will try. Let me actually erase this. I think I want to make it way bigger than what it is. Okay. So what were we talking about? Oh, the movie.
Heck. Yeah, the movie.
Yeah. So, by the way, do you think that they're gonna make another movie?
See, as much as I would want to, want them to. I'm so attached to the OGs.
Mm-hmm.
They obviously probably couldn't do their character, Although Kellen did say in an interview that he is down to play Carlisle in the if they were to ever do a remake. So,
I feel like I feel like they all could still play it, to be honest. Like, to me, they all still look super young,
yeah.
and I think that they would be amazing. And also because I feel like if she could, I don't know when she plans on having the books come out. Do you know about that?
No, I don't think she has a tentative date. I think she's not giving a tentative date because she doesn't want like what happened with Midnight Sun. So I think Stephanie Meyer's that person where she's just gonna write and then once she's ready, she'll drop it. I think though it's gonna take a few years.
I feel like the girl who played Renesmee, she's actually looks exactly like I think how Renesmee would look.
Yeah, she really like the CGI that they did for her. She really turned out to be her.
She did. They pre guessed how she would look. They were like, you want to see how you're gonna look when you're this age?
And she literally became.
For real. Um, so she's actually looks exactly like it, and I think that all of them could still be their characters. So maybe we'll I guess we'll see in a couple years if we're gonna get another movie or not.
Yeah.
I hope. It would give us more Twilight content, which is amazing. Which is
Just,
that's all we want, more Twilight content.
it's literally all I want in life is more Twilight content to feed my heart.
Obsession.
Yes, especially because you know what's going down next year. I just need more.
Oh, who do you think is gonna be? Because we already know that Billy, or yeah, Billy Burke. We already know that he's gonna be a special guest.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, if y'all don't know, but Raven and I and a bunch of our other lovely Twi Talk ladies are gonna be going to the Forever Twilight and Forks event next year in September of 2021. It's official.
Booked.
Yeah, we got the hotels booked. We're just gonna wait on the flights because like flights right now they don't really have a lot available because it's a year away. So probably when it gets like 6 months from the date is like a better time to start getting the flights. At least I know that's when I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
And so Billy Burke, aka the Charlie Swan, is going to be a special guest at the event next year. He was supposed to be this year, but because of the COVID situation, they decided that he'll just come next year, and he was down for that, which is nice because I'm literally gonna cry.
Yeah. I mean, because we're gonna meet him, right? Because he's VIP tickets. Oh.
If you get the VIT, then yeah. If not, you have to pay for like I think his event.
Yeah.
So I'm probably definitely gonna splurge for that event.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna get the VIP tickets.
It's definitely like from what shout out to Mel and Kat from Ladies About Esme. They definitely said that it's quite the experience and worth the money to get the VIT.
Yeah.
I think Kenzie's gonna get that one. I'm gonna talk with my parents because this trip is like my graduation trip because I graduate from college in May, so this is gonna be like my graduation trip.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna talk to them and see about maybe doing the VIT. But I think maybe so.
Yeah. Why not?
So I maybe Eric, because Eric Odom was there for the virtual event this year, and he played Peter for reference for those listening in. Maybe he would probably go because I know he goes a lot.
I really hope. I mean, because this year was the 15-year anniversary, right?
Yeah,
Of the book. The movies came out in 2008. So we're not quite yet at a 20-year anniversary, but Um, I don't know. I feel like I want someone. I mean, Billy Burke going is like a huge thing. I think.
Yes, I mean, Chief Swan. Oh my god.
I also feel like Loki. Feel like Kellen and Peter would go. Maybe not next year, but I feel like at some point.
Yeah.
They,
Same with Jackson. I think Jackson, because Jackson always be given twihards on the gram some love with
yeah,
all.
for real. Oh, did you see that Nikki Reed, Nate like adopted a puppy?
I saw.
The Emmett.
Oh my god, like, I know she was fostering a bunch of dogs, and one of the dogs gave birth. So she named all of them, like, the mama was Rosalie. All of the puppies were named after, the Cullens. I was like, oh my god, why you gotta do that to me?
They really know what the people want.
They do.
Love them for that. Because they give us they are giving us our Twilight content. Wow.
I love when, like, actors or, when actors from these big franchises and worlds like they realize the influence and love that the fans of that world have for them. So when they do that, I just find it like I don't know. I've always admired that when they do that.
It's
And
it's very endearing. It shows that even though, because I know that there was like stigma around like some actors who were in Twilight, right? For I mean, like Robert Pattinson is known for like literally hating the franchise. But yeah, I think it was more about like how the fandom was like literally. I mean we're crazy, right?
yeah,
It,
because especially like with this particular, like, with Twilight, it was popular to hate, so we all found like a lot of twihards have known what it's like to get made fun of and like be hated on for liking it. So when the people who are part of it also kind of bash it and are like that, it's like a slap to the face sometimes.
yeah.
Fun.
So I find it really really endearing and kind of um like super cool that they can like recognize like this was a long time ago, but like the fans are still like they're still fans, we're alive and we're thriving, and we're gonna give them the content that they want.
Yeah.
Kellen always posts stuff on Instagram about Twilight. I love it.
My God, when Midnight Sun was released, he was like, "I'm loving all this Emmett content," and I was like, "Yes."
Do you think Kellen has seen Twi Talk?
I wouldn't be surprised. Hey Kellen, if you're listening, us. I'm kidding. I feel like he kind of has. I feel like, and plus I want him to know that Emmett is the star of the show on Twi Talk.
Oh, for 100%.
Like the amount of videos I've seen of just Emmett. Like I love that. I love how in 2008 it was all about Edward and Jacob, and 2020 is literally Emmett, Carlisle, Charlie, everyone else.
Honestly, because I feel like Kristen and Robert, well, they get a lot of they get a lot of traffic on Twi Talk too. But their thing also for Twi Talk is like more of them being hot.
It's us thirsting after them.
Yeah. And then I love all the Emmett Twi Talk videos. They're so hilarious.
Yes. There are some really funny ones.
Funny how like an entire group of people can make like the same assumptions about one character, but we know that they're true.
Exactly. I mean, Emmett is literally our himbo king.
Yeah. And Cherish posted a video that I literally shout out to Cherish again, love her. But she posted that video like I have prepared a soliloquy. And it's Emmett and he's singing Cotton Eye Joe. I
Oh
love that.
my god. My favorite Cherish Emmett video was when I think it was the Weekend song or something. and she's getting in the car, and it's like all the Cullens going in, and it's like, girl, put your seatbelt on.
Yeah, I love that one. That one's so funny. And it's like, oh, Edward is going to school with Bella. Oh, so who's driving? He gets in, puts his seatbelt on.
Oh my god.
Love that video. We love Cherish. Go follow Cherish on TikTok.
Guys, definitely.
Want Cherish to get to 1,000 followers on TikTok so she can go live and serenade us for more than 59.59.
Oh my gosh, I can never get enough. And then all of a sudden, it's like her live ends, and I'm like, no, why is it over?
Yeah, Cherish does amazing lives on Instagram, but Instagram limits you to like an hour. Well, like 59.59.
When we were on live and it cut us when we were in the middle of talking, I was like, shoot.
Yeah, by the way, guys, every time we post a video, we will be going live that night around like 5, like usually like 5 my time, 6
my time.
Yeah, so we will be updating you guys. It's always a fun time. Our friends get on, make some chaotic remarks.
Oh my god, like the freaking Draco or Stefan, shout out to Gia. I'm sorry, Gia, for choosing Draco over Stefan.
Oh yeah.
For 2 boys. But
okay, well, so then I think that let's talk about Draco.
Draco. Did someone say Draco Malfoy?
It's gonna be Gia when she hears this. She's gonna be like, "Did someone say Draco Malfoy?"
Oh no, I did not want to carve that piece.
What happened?
Okay.
Yeah, I accidentally made like a little cut in mine, but I think it's chill. Yeah, so Draco, not really a villain, right? He's kind of a villain.
He's kind of, I call him an anti-hero or that, because it's like he was, he was a little snitch and all that. But then I can't help but get sympathy for him toward the last end of Harry Potter.
Yeah, because I mean it wasn't. It's very telling to the story that it's kind of like usually people who like you kind of have to you follow your family, kind of stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I feel for him in that sense, but and then there was a deleted scene. I don't know if you've seen it, but there's a deleted scene where he like where Harry drops out of Hagrid's hand, and then Draco runs back to the crowd, and he's like, Potter! And I think he throws him a wand or something.
He does. He throws him his wand, and that was like his redemption.
Yeah, and then they didn't put it.
Yeah, instead they have him just running away with his family, and I'm like, ugh.
Yeah. So, love him. He's like a villain, but with a character redemption. Just thought we should talk a little bit about him, because I think we mentioned him like one time. So, well, we're talking about villains, right? So, let's mention the redemption villain. Okay, so I think you are very passionate about this one topic.
Oh my god, I think I know what's coming.
There's 2 specific people in the Volturi that you are very in love with. And their names are Dimitri and Felix.
Yes! Sorry, I have to. Anytime. I get so giddy.
They're cute.
They are, oh my god, literally, if they are at the event, because they did go to the Forever Twilight and Forks event a couple years ago. So
If they go to the event, we're gonna have to like resurrect you or something.
no, I'm literally gonna become deceased right then and there. You guys are gonna have to carry me to the hotel room. I'm just gonna pass away.
But okay, so if I don't think Dimitri's cute, but I think Felix is super cute.
Ooh. Okay. Dimitri took some time to grow on me, because like it was like his sandy brown hair, but then it's like the way I don't know, the way he would carry himself. I love his look in Eclipse and then in Breaking Dawn with like the all black.
Hmm.
In New Moon, his hair is a little too spiky for my, in the book, in the book, he's described as having, like black hair down to his, just above his shoulder.
Oh.
And then Felix had like cropped black hair. Oh
Y'all would be a power couple with your short black hair.
my God, we would. So, basically, where were we going with this? I got a little too.
Oh no, because we were talking about their looks, but I honestly think that Felix was super cute in New Moon, and then he looked terrible in Eclipse.
Oh no, they did him so dirty in Eclipse with that shaggy hair, and then then they come back in Breaking Dawn and made him look immaculate.
Yeah, so we love learning from our mistakes. But yeah, so I think out of everyone in the Volturi, I think that Felix is the cutest, to be honest.
Yeah.
And Rhe has a theory about Dimitri and Felix. Do you want to share your theory?
Okay, y'all. So buckle up for this. Now, oh my God, I did not want to carve through that either. Okay. Let me take a break on this. So, this theory is kind of also on Tumblr, which is where I first saw it. I can't credit the original blogger because I have no idea. It's still up there. I haven't been on Tumblr in months now. I kind of strayed away. But basically, we know that Dimitri and Felix, especially Felix in the books, they're a little flirty. They're a little playful. They're playboys. I know for a fact, and I think we can all agree that they have it with the ladies. And I think, and because this theory that I saw on Tumblr definitely it just made sense. Because I think the Volturi maybe had an idea that hybrids could be possible, or they're just not aware yet, because I know that those two are players. Even Charlie Bewley, who played Dimitri, called him the Casanova of life and had his ways with the ladies. So I think they have hybrid kids out there, and they just don't know it.
Yeah. Little hybrid orphan kids, because... Or maybe, I honestly think that it'd be super interesting if maybe the Volturi, after discovering, confirming their beliefs about hybrid children, start creating their own hybrid children.
I saw a theory of that too, where they probably went to go test it out because they wanted to see if any would have gifts, especially if the parents were gifted.
Yeah, because I know that Felix doesn't really have any psychic gifts.
Yeah, except he's just very strong.
Super strong and tall, which is that's the selling point for me.
Oh my God, 6'7",
Wow.
Destroy me.
We love.
I'm simping on Maine right now. Happens when you bring my men on there. I will simp on Maine.
Yeah. So I think that what is a Dimitri's gift?
Dimitri is basically a tracker 10 times more powerful than James because he has the ability to catch on to someone's mental tenor. So once he's in the proximity of them and is able to catch on to their mind, he can track them to the ends of the earth and he can never lose that tenor. The only one he cannot track is Bella because Bella is a powerful shield. But Dimitri can find anyone. As soon as he comes into contact with them, he's able to trace them to anywhere they are.
Wow. So I think that they would have especially probably used, just because they're attractive, they would have definitely used Dimitri and Felix to go make some hybrid babies.
Yeah.
And I think that maybe they would find these girls and keep them there, like where they are, and like I don't. They wouldn't save them for any. They wouldn't save them at all.
And if they did survive, then it would be a miracle. But I don't think that they would have openly went out of their ways to make sure the mother survived.
Yeah. So, and I think that they would have had what's their names, Renata and
Chelsea.
yeah, they would have had them take care of the babies while they are up and growing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I need batteries for this. LOL.
I don't have a little candle thing to put inside, but I basically, it doesn't look, even though I kind of carved pieces I didn't want to, it doesn't actually look that bad. I need a vacuum after this.
I know, I need to clean my room. My office. I do need a battery. I don't have a battery. Do I have a lighter in here in my office? I don't think I do. But that's okay. We don't need to. Fire is hazardous.
I'm
But
pumpkin seeds.
I am done with mine, so I will just wait till you are done. And we will do a
done.
review. But let's go ahead and continue this conversation. So, I think it would be also because just going back to the topic of maybe them creating their new hybrids, that it'd be super interesting if that was like the whole plot of the next book too.
I was just, as you were, like, I could tell where you were going with this, and I was like, yes. I want to know if during this time, the Volturi was making a hybrid army.
And vampire women can't have babies. Only vampire men can have babies.
Yeah, because the way, I think the way it's described in the illustrated guide is, because, your body has to change with pregnancy. So that's why the women, vampires can't, because it's like their body won't be able to change with carrying a baby. Whereas the men, it's like venom can be, it can like kind of physiologically change into whatever is needed. So that's why if their eyes water, the venom kind of could look like they're crying. Or with Edward's case, like
What if what if a pregnant lady gets turned into a vampire?
I
Baby would die.
I think either the transformation, huh?
What if the baby turns into a vampire? Because the mother's blood is kind of like, I don't know.
I don't know if the transformation would ignite like immediate labor, or if as she's because it would depend on how like
Far along.
because if she's like 5-6 months and she just has a little bump and she gets turned, she'd probably get frozen with the pregnancy bump, and then she would just be carrying like nothing in her baby in like her stomach.
Oh, that'd be so sad.
Like just thinking about that.
I'm sad now.
Also, I finished my pumpkin.
Ooh,
It's
we can.
not as cute, but I might take like some black paint and retrace where I want.
Yeah. Okay, we'll show them in a little bit, but we haven't talked about. Oh, wait. Okay, what were we talking about?
We're talking about pregnancy with vampires.
That I don't think Jane is a child herself, right? So Jane can't. Well, then we can talk about Jane and Alec, right? Jane and Alec, the twins.
I love them. I just find them very fascinating.
They're young. They're 12 and 13, or no, between 12 and 13, right?
Yeah.
They're from. Where are they from?
I think they were from England. They were because their father was an Anglo-Saxon something.
Yeah.
So I think it was they were in a village in England in like the 1000 AD. Because like so Dimitri and Felix, besides like Aro and them, they're the oldest. Because Dimitri and Felix were from like ancient Rome and Greece theory. There's a theory that Felix could have been a gladiator, and so Jane and Alec are like the youngest bunch.
Yeah. That, you know what, that also makes me wonder, what is the turning age like? Because you can't turn babies, right?
Yeah, you can't turn children. That's the thing. I think the because the twins are technically also considered children
Yeah.
because 12 to 13, but it's like they were, I guess, mentally capable and didn't have like the reaction as the younger children. So it makes us wonder, like, it makes me wonder also kind of like maybe 11, 12 is the turning point, or Aro just made the exception because he knew they were gifted.
Yeah. I think so because I mean he did come across them when they were young and he was like, "Oh, I'm not going to turn them because they had already made that rule not to turn like children, right? Because they can't be like swayed or you can't really like control them."
Yeah.
So I think that he, because to me 12 and 13 is still kind of young, but I think that they for sure made that except he probably did make that exception for them.
Yeah.
They were, I mean, they were, I mean, they were witches, right? So,
Yeah, it was because they were like anything, because it was already at that time that twins were a rare and seen as an unnatural occurrence. So they were already ridiculed for being twins because it's like, how is it possible that two babies could be born at the same time from one person? And then it was noticed by the village how good things would happen to people who were nice to them, but bad things would happen to people who were mean. So they were already in the like there was already heated water with the twins because of they had obvious psychic abilities, but and that's how they were burnt at the stake.
yeah. And I think, because to me, Arrow is very, as much as we like, I mean, he's like a villain, right? But he's also super, in that sense, like he killed all of them because they were going to kill him. To me, that's kind of compassionate.
Yeah, yeah.
It's selfish because he,
It was selfish and greedy underlining, but I do think he has like a care for the twins, especially like they show in the movie how his reaction when they were killed,
mhm.
and it was like he was pissed.
Yeah, because I mean, those are his like untouchables in my head, like, you know? But
Yeah.
he doesn't, especially because they help him so much in getting what he wants that he's like, oh no.
That's how they took down the Romanian coven was the battle between the Italians and the Romanians. That's when they introduced Jane and Alec, and they weren't expecting two young vampires with those type of abilities to completely wipe out the Romanian coven.
Yeah, and I had seen a video yesterday that talked about Jane a little bit more because there was this post. Let me go grab it. I put my nails back on. I had them on, but then I took them off. And I was like, I'm not gonna be able to carve a pumpkin with these nails on. So these are there's this Instagram page called Twilight Facts with two S's at the end. And they just post a whole bunch of Twilight facts, right? And someone had said something like, I really like Jane, to be honest. This is an opinion. People don't like her because she's evil, but if she was part of the Cullens, everyone would love her. I personally think she's a bad bitch and that she's hella powerful.
I agree, cause I love Jane, and I love Jane.
Yeah, I mean, I think they make her out to be a very unlikable character, right? Because, but after I watched this story about her backstory, and the story kind of behind her power is kind of like sad in a way because whenever they were like getting ready to kill her, she like her power, and then she got turned like that power, that anger that she felt towards the villagers that were killing them is the type of pain that she gives other people when she makes them feel the pain that she felt, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that that's super interesting and so unique. Like it's such a like a very unique kind of power.
Yeah, and that's the same how I feel with Alec because like Alec, while Jane was wanted to give pain, Alec just wanted to feel numb, and that's why I find his power also so interesting. How he can just he just wanted, like, with that, when, like, in that moment, he just wanted to feel numb and take away the pain. And
Yeah.
it's like, they're opposites of each other, which is cool
Yeah.
because they're twins.
That is true. That is super. Because his power is kind of like sense deprivation. Like he takes away all your senses. Like you know. So I think that that's super interesting too. To think like if you were on a stake about to be burned, that.
And I think it's also kind of cool because Alec's power sneaks up. Like the way they describe it is Alec's power sneaks up on you, and you can't actually really see it because it's sneaky. Whereas Jane, it hits you full force, and I think it also describes their personality because Alec doesn't talk that much,
Mm-mm.
quiet and in the back, but he sneaks up on you, and then Jane is very like in your face, like she's gonna put it on you like right away.
Yeah, and even the fact that Edward is kind of like Edward knows, and Edward like in New Moon he was so quick to like listen to Jane because he was like I don't want.
And he was like, just listen to her, and then he ends up, feeling it because we didn't know that Bella would not be able to feel it.
Exactly. Okay. The last, I think, thing that I want to talk about is Marcus. He is probably, because he's not a Volturi member that's like hot. He might be hot to other people, but
I mean, I wouldn't,
I wouldn't say no either. But yeah, I guess if we're looking in terms of attractiveness, he's probably like one of the least, right? He's also considerably my favorite Volturi member, I think.
He's my favorite of the three kings.
Yes, he is my favorite because he's so like chill. He's kind of just wants to be left alone in a way, and we can talk about his little tragic past a little bit. So Marcus was married to Didymi, who is Aro's sister.
Yes.
And Marcus was tired of Marcus and Didymi both did not want to be a part of the Volturi, their tactics kind of thing, and they were gonna leave. But Aro did not want that. He wanted Marcus. What is Marcus's power? Do you know?
He can sense emotional bonds. So whereas Chelsea can influence emotional bonds and like break them or make them stronger, Marcus can actually see and like feel the bond, which is why like in New Moon he was very shocked to see how strong the bond between Bella and Edward was.
Yeah. So and Aro thought that was something that he needed in the Volturi. So Aro went and killed his sister Didymi. And then Aro made Chelsea use her power to kind of calm Marcus down in a way that made him loyal to Aro. And I guess Aro convinced him, like, we will find the killer, even though he is the killer.
Yeah. Trying to make it to where, like, even though Marcus is still not there, he really has nowhere else to go now and still feels like he has to stay. Which is why he's so miserable
Yeah.
all the time.
And I think his, like, literally, like, one of the only lines he has in Breaking Dawn Part 2 is, finally.
Yeah.
And it's so iconic.
Oh my god, I'm like, that's literally me during exam week.
I mean, he just wanted to. There's been no times where he was like really evil. He's more of like a let's just get on with our day kind of guy.
Yeah, and then we see that scene at the end of Breaking Dawn Part 1 where, like, the scene in the end credits scene where they're informed that Bella has turned. It was like, our issues with the Cullens are over now, I presume. And then Arrow's all like, oh, of course not, brother. And you could see Marcus visibly like, like, I was like, because Marcus was like, you gotta be kidding me.
He was like, are you serious? Oh, you know who we haven't talked about?
Who?
Because I don't like him a lot.
Caius?
Yes.
Yeah, Caius. I really don't like Caius. I don't know. Caius especially gets on my nerve in Breaking Dawn that I'm just like,
Yeah, to me, I don't really think about, I think that's why we haven't brought him up. I don't think about him.
I don't think about him on the daily. Like, I'm always thinking about the others, but not really much Caius because he doesn't have a power.
No, and I think his problem, like the problem I have with him, is that he's so very like he's like I think he's just pure evil. Like
Yeah. He's sadistic, and honestly, I think that's why Jane. I think it's even said like that's why Jane kind of is also like that. Is because she would connect well with Marcus, and she kind of shows that a lot. So it's like Caius. I don't know. He's just pure evil. I don't.
yeah, I don't really like him. He looks like like Jeffree Star.
No, oh my God. Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one who thought that. I love
Yeah.
Jamie Campbell Bower, sweetie. I love you. You did great.
Almost got auditioned for Edward.
Oh my God. Could you imagine him as wow?
I could see it a little bit, but I really like Rob.
Wait, did I ever tell you who else auditioned for the role of Edward?
No.
Um, Michael Welch, who played Mike Newton.
No.
Like when I heard that, I was like, stop right there, because
This podcast right now.
oh my God, when I found that out on Tumblr, and so many memes were like, they would crop Mike's face, like that face where he's like, look at you, like right before he takes ask Bella to prom. They might that where he's smiling like a goofball. They would Photoshop that face on Edward and like show scenes, and I'm like, no.
That's it. I'm done. That's ridiculous. He's so. I don't think he would have been able to play it off. He's so like just naturally. I feel like he's a goofy person. So I just don't. No offense. Love him as Mike. Love the actor. He's very. I think he also goes to the festival
Yeah,
often. So love him. Just not for Edward.
yeah, he did good as Mike.
Yeah. Should. Oh, okay. I think a little segue so that we can show our pumpkins. Our friend group, I feel like, oh my gosh, I didn't even realize that these lashes make me like look like I'm not looking at all. So our friend group always plays Among Us. We'll hop on Discord, we'll play Among Us, all that. So much fun. And we always play as Twilight characters. So last time we were playing, why did I take a screenshot of this? Oh, we were playing last time and I was Rosalie. Then we had Bella, we had we had Rosalie, Edward, Bella. Oh no, Rosalie and Bella, and then our other friends were playing as Gia's wife, Mare's wife, and Gia's son. And then two random people jumped into the Among Us because it was public, and their names were Edward and Jacob.
Oh,
We were like, excuse me, and then we were like, well, we were joking with them, and it was just super funny. And then yesterday we were playing Aw. So then that's like a little segue into our pumpkins because we both decided to carve an Among Us pumpkin.
a little tiny, but because I didn't mean to carve right there, but it's okay.
Yeah,
We got our little crewmates.
I put red sus on the side.
I love that. I always play as Dimitri whenever we do Twilight characters, just so y'all know.
Yeah, I can't wait to light this up, to be honest, because I really want to put it outside.
Yes, I'm gonna probably write because Mare and I whenever we play we're always accusing each other, so I'm gonna put yellow sus because Mare's always yellow.
You put Bella sus. Okay, I want to show you all my Halloween costume with my teeth in.
Oh my God! Look at that. That is amazing.
I can't talk with them in.
I love it.
Disgusting. All right. Well, we are nearing the end, so we will go ahead and get into our last segment, Ree's Weekly Read.
Hey y'all, okay, welcome back to Ree's Weekly Read. Oh my god, that sounded so bad right there. I almost said something I did not mean to. Um, so since this is a Halloween session, we gotta gear up for spooky season. I revisited this book that I read my sophomore year of high school. It is called The Devouring by Simon Holtz. It's actually the publishing company is Little Brown, who produced Twilight. Also, if you're watching this on the YouTube, this sticker I'm pointing at is this used to be a library book, and I got it from Better World Books. So, so it's a very quick and small read. It's about 200 and something pages. This is a series. It's a trilogy. There's 3 books. Hold on. Oops, my dad is calling me. No, I'll call him back. There's 3 books. I actually, in the several years since I've read this book, I have not read the other 2, so I need to go do that. Let me text him real quick. Sorry guys, my dad's in town and he saw me earlier, but I said I was gonna go see him later today.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever read like scary books. I'm a very scared person. So I don't have really scary books in my bookshelf.
He's driving. Oh my god. Okay, I'll call him back later. So yeah, this is it's not scary, but it's a little horror thriller. It's the main protagonist. Her name is Reggie, and basically what happens is she works at a bookstore and she comes across this journal which is called The Devouring, like, so the namesake title is also in the actual book. So she finds this journal called The Devouring and she reads it, and it's not an actual like book because it was a handwritten journal and doesn't really have the author's name. It tells the story of, it's in the author's point of view, talking about a night called Sorry Night, which is the winter solstice. So Reggie, she reads this book and it talks about these kind of demonic entities called Vowers that devour one's soul on the night of Sorry Night, the winter solstice, because they feed on fears. And Reggie has kind of taken on the care of her younger brother because their mom had left them a few months prior, and then their dad is always working and not really there. So she's kind of the main caretaker between her and her brother, and she's really into horror. So when she found this book, she decided that her and her friend were gonna try and call on the Vowers. But they didn't realize that facing their fear actually drives them away because they feed on fear. So when they faced the fear, they drove them away, and they left the one vulnerable person who gets scared a lot alone. And then it goes on a wild goose chase because her brother starts to act very odd and not like his cheery-go-lucky self. So she has to figure out how to stop the Vowers and get her brother back before they completely devour his soul and she loses him.
Wow.
So I definitely recommend. I'm in the process of rereading it. I'm almost on chapter 4. It's a very quick read. Keeps you invested, and honestly, this is one of the books where I kind of wish they would have like a movie or a mini series because I think it would make a really good show because it was kind of unique.
Yeah, it sounds super interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my Ree's Weekly Read.
Yeah, so that is the end of the episode, guys. We had so much fun. I had so much fun dressing up today.
I did too.
I've always wanted to be Winifred Sanderson, like me and my sisters wanted to be like the Sanderson sisters. And this year, since I'm a teacher, I finally had money to buy my full costume. So I'm very happy. I'm gonna go take some pictures around my town. But don't be sad that it is over, because you can always go check out our first episode if you haven't already. We stream on Spotify, SoundCloud, Anchor, YouTube. You can see the video of us being ridiculous carving these pumpkins. And go ahead and check out our Instagram at the Bite Podcast RR. You can go to our TikTok as well at the Bite Podcast RR, I believe also. You can follow me on my TikTok at Raven and Woods, and then you can go follow Rhe at Life Size Coraline on TikTok. All of our socials are there. You can go check us out. We had so much fun. We will see you guys not this next Monday, but the Monday after. So it is on November 2nd, where we will be talking about whatever we talk about then.
So everyone have a happy Halloween. Be safe. Make sure if you do go out in a public setting, still wear your mask, even if, you're in a costume. We gotta, try and flatten that curve. But have fun and happy spooky season, everyone.
Yay, bye!
Bye.